and welcome to 9 on the Positive Side. Thanks so much for being here this weekend. We start in the city of Kinston. A North Carolina 11-year-old is no stranger to the stage. I'm introducing you to Lizzie Tobel, who doesn't miss a beat.
Just call us Lizzie and friends.
I love it. It just shows the real me out.
Drumsticks in hand and rocking to the beat.
I guess it's just always been part of me.
That's where you can find 11-year-old Lizzie Tobel.
My dad, he played the drums, and I got behind a kit and the drum set, and I just played.
She's been playing drums for 9 years.
One day she said, "Miss Erin, I know how to play the drums." I was like, "Good for you, Lizzie." You know, she's 4.
Well, it turns out she knew how to play drums. At 4 years old, she was a pretty great drummer. But really, it was just mainly just giving her the opportunity to do what she already knew how to do.
At such a young age, Lizzie was part of the band.
She had the drive, she had the talent.
2 years later, she's sitting in with all the bands that would come into the venue. Everyone wanted to hear her play.
Look at where it took me now.
She's been performing on stage for 7 years.
She's as good as any drummer in this part of the country. And she will be playing with a major act by the time she's 17 or 18.
No matter who she's playing with,
I've stopped thinking of her as a kid drummer. I just think of her as a drummer.
she fits right in.
She's just playing with so much more confidence and helping drive and conduct the song, like all the other musicians that have been playing 30 years.
As a little girl's dream turns reality.
Once you can set your mind on it, you can go straight to the moon for it.
The drums, ladies and gentlemen, is Lizzie Tobel.
She really is incredible, just so talented. And you can see Lizzie and friends play in Garner on April 15th at Lorraine's Coffee House. The show starts at 7:30. This information, of course, is all on our website for you as well. And we're always looking for good news. If you have an idea, you can send it to the email you see right there on your screen. Email newsdesk@WNCT.com. Again, it's newsdesk@WNCT.com. You can also reach out to me on Facebook or over on Twitter. Switching gears, you've probably heard of the Puppy Bowl, the annual TV program putting the country's cutest puppies on the field to show off all of their skills. In Guilford County, Animal Services hosted their own version. Let's take a closer look. A team of furry players competed for the top spots in the hearts of people living there. The Rescue Bowl included dogs both young and old and just everything in between from the shelter on Guilford College Road. Employees in Animal Services hope this year's Rescue Bowl will encourage more people to think of adopting a forever friend.
As you can see, we have some amazing dogs here. They're just looking for a home. Can you imagine playing football with this guy this weekend, right?
They really are adorable. Guilford County Animal Services is open for adoptions each week. They say appointments are not needed over there. Raising money for animals in need. That's why yoga is going to the dogs, rabbits, and more. Marley Ginter takes us inside this special yoga class.
Forward fold.
The downward dog never came so easy at yoga class.
Reach.
In fact, the stretching and exercising here just may have you begging for more.
This is a great way to make fitness fun and also contribute to a great cause.
California Family Fitness teamed up with the SPCA for puppy and rabbit yoga.
So, I mean, who doesn't love puppies, bunnies, yoga, and rooftop cycling?
I have 2 dogs and 4 cats and 3 birds and a rabbit.
Maximum 110 on the sprint.
It's all to raise money for animals in need and for all the services the shelter provides, like spay and neutering and vaccinations.
I think it's a good cause. I think it's going to be fun. I like working out, so
Release for years.
putting 2 things together, they'll go great.
Yeah, so the yoga classes are actually sold out within 24 hours. All of our spin classes today are also sold out.
After all, what better way to relax with a system of exercises promoting control of the mind, body, and I guess tail. Yoga has truly gone to the dogs, and that's a good thing.
These events raise awareness for the shelter and also raise the funds needed to provide the services for people and their pets.
That's just about the best positive reinforcement you'll ever get.
Hi. And that was Marley Ginter reporting for us. She's entertaining to a lot of people and taking up Residences. Coming up later, we'll introduce you to a pair like no other. Time where most of us are connected to technology, there's probably a chance many haven't received a handwritten letter in a while. As Aaron Ivory reports, that's exactly what makes getting one so special.
There's times in our lives we crave a little solitude. And then there's seasons we want nothing more than to hear a familiar voice. It's those days Shirley Schutz pulls open that top drawer in search of memories.
It's something you can hold in your hand and you can read it over and over again. Letters that I received from my husband when he was in the service and from my aunt. And I want you to know how special you are. It just brings back so many memories.
For a generation built on hand-pinned connection, texts and emails read like a rushed, empty substitute.
I think those days are gone where people write to each other.
A view shared by another woman miles away, peering out her own window.
I'm gonna sit right down and write.
When you sit down and you really feel like you want to communicate with somebody, it takes some thought.
When her mother fell ill, Liza Johnson began writing letters to keep up with her mom's longtime pen pal and best friend, Elsie.
My mom worked at Douglas Aircraft and got a job as a riveter, and her riveting partner was Elsie.
A bond kept alive through countless letters over 60 years.
So when I took over, I sort of felt like they were large shoes that I was filling.
There was a revelation for Liza one afternoon, adding postage to Elisa's letter that perhaps she could leave a little joy in someone else's mailbox, too.
It makes you a better person to know that you have more connections with more people.
So she put a call out online to sign up if you wanted a letter from Liza.
You don't have to be lonely or in some desperate situation to be asking for a letter. It's just, it fulfills you.
Hand-selecting the perfect card for a new pen pal every single day.
Hello, Shirley.
Which brings us back to Shirley.
I've enclosed a card in case you want to write to me.
Whose daughter added her mom's name to Liza's list.
I was a recipient of her nice letter. It's just nice to know that it was for me.
Shirley has received several letters from Liza over the last couple years.
I'll have to write again soon.
Each one a delightful surprise.
I always just take it up to my room and I don't open it downstairs.
To see how excited she gets when she goes to her mailbox and finds a letter.
Savor the feeling of being able to open it and just sit and enjoy the thought that somebody sent me a note and thought about me.
There are now thousands of cherished letters and cards carefully tucked away in drawers and proudly displayed on nightstands all over the country.
One woman said, I put your card out right by my bed so that anybody who comes to visit me can see my mail.
Her inspiration board covered with handwritten letters in return.
You only need to get one or two responses where somebody says, you're the only person that I talk to, or, you know, you made my day. It just reminds you that we're all in this together.
And that was Erin Ivory reporting for us. With Valentine's Day almost here, a library in West Virginia is sharing the love with nursing homes. And here's how. Take a look at this Valentine's Day card station. The cards made at the library are headed over to those nursing homes to bring some joy. The social media associate for the library says she hopes to have the same card turnout they had last year.
I just think it's a great way to service and to spread a little cheer this Valentine's Day to the people who live in the nursing homes who sometimes may not get many visitors or just need to feel part of the community as well.
Always good to be kind. There are no rules. People can make the card any way they'd like. Hearts, cupids, and cute sayings, you name it, they can put it on it. All supplies are provided free of charge from this library. A card that says thank you for your service goes a long way this time of year for our veterans. Valentine's for Veterans is a tradition some students have been doing for years to help make a veteran smile and feel valued. Kalorama has this heartwarming story from New York.
Thank you for your service, for risking your lives for my freedom. Happy Valentine's Day.
A Valentine for a Veteran is something the James Deaver School has done for years, so these students from kindergarten to 6th grade can show their appreciation to those who served with a high five and a handmade card.
As we're learning about history in our social studies curriculum, we can say, you know, these are the people that are actually out there doing this for us, keeping us safe, helping us have the freedoms that we have.
Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you for your service and protecting our country.
For these veterans, memories of serving overseas never fade, and their goal is to turn memories into lessons.
We like to try to instill in the children about the liberties and the things that they've been granted because people served. We don't really try, and we try not to talk about combat.
Showing off the eye-catching patches and medals is a source of pride for veteran Jerry Biscardi.
Vietnam combat veterans are entitled to certain medals. And up here is the Vietnam Campaign Medal. I was actually awarded the Army Commendation Medal for meritorious service.
These kids are so young. What do you want them to understand about serving the country?
How it feels to be an American.
For veteran Mike Felix, it's the feeling of being valued.
It's to see that the kids enjoy to see and talk to elderly people. Thank you for your help in saving our country.
In Valley Stream, Kalorama, Pix 11 News.
In my mind, I used to be a child of poverty, not knowing that hopes and dreams can become reality.
Trying to change the world one poem at a time. Next on 9 on the Positive Side, the impact this 9-year-old is hoping to have on you. A 9-year-old from Harlem, New York was the poet laureate last year in the inauguration of New York Governor Kathy Hochul. And while his story is just starting, it's sure to inspire generations to come. Greg Mocker has more.
Congratulations. Keep up the good work. Okay?
I will.
When you go for a walk with Caden Hearn,
so you're very popular now, Caden.
Yes.
Be prepared to stop and listen.
Congratulations. Very good for you. If you like practice, you can do anything.
People around West 133rd Street
looking like that today. I'm in the interview. Oh. Yeah.
Are asking him about his words at the inauguration of the governor of New York.
In my mind, I used to be a child of poverty, not knowing that hopes and dreams can become reality. In my mind, I thought it was fine to sit in the back of the classroom because my teacher never asked me to read or write. But little did she know, I was ever so bright.
The 9-year-old is the poet laureate for New York. He was waiting to go inside the Apollo last year when Governor Kathy Hochul stopped by for one of her official appearances.
And there's a long line around the block. And I saw this young man stand there. I said, "You going in to watch somebody?" He goes, "No, I'm a poet. I'm going to go recite."
But now I understand why being called ashy and black. Black is the color of my skin, so soft, beautiful, silky, and smooth. In my mind, I was thinking about things in my mind and how things are not fair.
His grandma provided the initial inspiration.
Questions he asks sometimes, go to Google, please. I can't answer it all, you know? Yeah, he's always been, it's a little boy.
She told me to write down my notes of what I was thinking.
He's working on another poem and paying attention.
Don't get the big head, because you are a star.
I will. Thank
to
you.
his family and friends on the block.
As if you give up, the world's never going to change and it's going to stay the same.
Good personality, okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
But now I understand why. In my mind, I heard my ancestor cry. They help clear the path so others do not have to die. Justice and peace. Oh, Father, please help me. And that's what I heard in my mind.
And that was Greg Mocker reporting for us. Caden is actually working on another poem. This one is for the president. And February is Black History Month. WNCT and our parent company Nexstar is focusing on the theme Sharing Our Stories. It'll be all about how we tell stories from current events to culture to the history that's happening right here in Eastern North Carolina, where we live. We'll also showcase stories across the country too to honor Black History Month. We have a special coming up in a few weeks as well. You can watch it February 24th on WNCT 9 News at 5:30. And coming up next, strangers into friends, how this unique pair came to be. To some, she might just be a bird, but as Chad Tucker shows us, for one North Carolina woman, she's better known as Miss Jenny.
She never leaves me. Whatever room of the house I'm in, she's there. And
artist Lorraine Hughes never paints alone.
If I'm down here painting, she usually sits right there in that window. We've asked everybody up and down the road, and nobody has claimed her. And
she can't. Miss Jenny, the guinea, is always watching her.
I don't know what it was. She just attached herself to me, and you can't have a bad day around Miss Jenny because she will lighten the load.
Miss Jenny followed Lorraine home from the woods one day during the pandemic.
Then I got COVID for 13 days and actually thought I was going to die.
And her feathered friend has been right here, peeking in the window ever since.
It was kind of scary because I didn't know if she was a buzzard or a turkey or what. She followed us all the way out of the woods and lit on the hog barn down there in a meadow. I think she's gone to the front yard. Let me go look.
Now Jenny rules the roost.
She expects dessert up here.
She likes to preach, as Miss Hughes calls it, twice a day.
Jenny, who's pretty girl, can you talk to me? She likes to observe everything that goes on up here.
Come on. Come on. Don't you want your grapes?
I think she thinks I'm her mother or certainly a protector. She feels safe wherever I'm at, but she keeps me safe.
Miss Jenny brought a lot of sunshine to Lorraine and her friends online during the dark days of the pandemic.
And they have followed Miss Jenny like crazy. I get so many comments from them when I post.
It was then she started painting Miss Jenny. A lot.
A lot of people have bought portraits of Miss Jenny because they saw her on Facebook and they wanted me to paint a portrait. You know, children love stories about birds like this.
And with the help of her daughter, wrote a children's book about Miss Jenny the Guinea's adventures.
Oh, here she comes. Oh, look at her.
Animals can teach us a lot about life,
Jenny!
Including the beauty found in friendships.
Because every day she does something crazy.
In Randolph County, North Carolina.
I'm just trying to share joy.
I'm Chad Tucker.
Every day is an adventure with Miss Jenny. Yes, indeed.
I love it. An adventure for sure. And you can follow her adventures over on Facebook. And thanks so much for joining us for 9 on the Positive Side this weekend. And we have one last thing to make you smile. Check this out. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you next time.